Hey family, how you doing today?
Graham.
Hey family, how you doing today? Just wanted to pop in on today. Our guest Billy D. Washington, he could not make it on today. TSA and the airports put him behind, and I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Billy D, for even trying to come on, and we're going to get him back on. He is a world-renowned comedian, and he is always on Carnival Cruises and also locally here in Houston. But we are going to talk about what is happening in America today. Man, I'm telling you, it is so much happening that's going on. So, we're going to start off, first of all, talking about TSA. That's one big thing here in Houston and the surrounding areas, too. They're thinking about, I just got a word that they may be closing down some of the airports because it's so many travelers. Unfortunately, it's spring break, very large spring break, and they are having a hard time, man, trying to get through the airport. It's taking 2 to 3 hours. I understand several people had cancellations. I was talking to a friend earlier, and he's still at the airport and had to stay overnight just trying to get a flight, and he still doesn't know that he's going to get one. So we are with each one of those families and just hoping that they will be okay. Another thing happened this week. Kiki Shepard. If you knew anything about, and I loved Showtime at the Apollo, and Kiki Shepard was the host there, one of the hostesses there, and she just passed away. We're gonna do prayers to her family, and we want them to know that we're with them and for them. President Trump and the Iran war, he has not stated when it will end. He says when he decides, then it will end. But just something that people didn't even hear about was Cuba. Cuba is being as is where President Trump stated he would go probably next. But Cuba right now, I just understand 11 million people are without electricity. They were just stating that the water pumps are shut down and sewage is overflowing in the streets. One thing I did talk to one of a friend that's a plumber, and he stated, Cam, the main thing is that water pressure from the water pumps, electricity has to be on to push it. So that's a real huge thing. 11 million people right now are without electricity there. And again, that means that their food is rotting away. They have issues with, just even trying to get food. Just think about all of that. Horrible. And we're again with those families. So, man, could not even imagine that. And I hate that for them. The Oscars happened this week. Sinners was one of the big ones that we were thinking that would get a lot of awards because they had 16 nominations, but they came through with 3 or 4 wins. But we're really excited. Michael B. Jordan, I was so excited to see him uh, win because it's if you don't know, it's only six uh, African American males that have won the Oscars. One being Sidney Poitier being the first one, and all through the ranks, I remember Forrest Whitaker being one, Will Smith being another one, Denzel Washington being one, and just like I said, six of them have won. So just think about that. Since Sidney Poitier, he was the first to do that. But we were so happy for Sinners and them doing that. We have a runoff that's coming up, Texas governor's runoff that we will have, and it is Greg Abbott and Gina Hanosa being our governors. So many people have asked, and I hope talking to some people, Gina Hanosa, please, your team, reach out to us. We really want you to come on and talk about your platform and what are thinking that Texas needs to do. So again, Greg Abbott and Gina Hanosa, they will be in the in November race. and they will decide then as far as governor. And this is governor of Texas. Southwest Airlines just announced that there will be no more flights to Chicago, O'Hare, and Washington Dulles. That's not to say other people, other carriers will not, but this is Southwest Airlines that was talking about that. We also found out that, and I don't know how you feel, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo dress code. Now, I'm just I'm very diplomatic about this situation, and I saw some things that people had been sending me because I did not go this year. I will say that, but even in the past, I cringed and saw some outfits, but this year I tell you, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. So if you see the footage and you see what's going on, you see exactly. They want family friendly, and many families are going out there. That's a big thing. Fighting is really a large thing, and let me be clear: it's not just African American. Young people fighting, it is all nationalities. I've seen all videos of people fighting during that time. I will tell you. So it's not always African American. So I can vouch for that. I saw several videos where it was not just African Americans. Uh, at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, uh, just upheaval. I can't even explain it. I was just in told not too long ago that Houston is the spring break destination of the South. One of the mottos is do not leave Houston on Sunday. Let me tell you something. I didn't know. I had no clue. I'm thinking, why would anybody have a destination of Houston? I love Houston. We're closer to the water when you have to Galveston and things like that. But for that many people to come, it is over. From my understanding, I was thinking 500,000, but I got notation that over 1 million people from all over, not just young people, that are coming here because they like Houston. It's close to several I guess several states that they can get here, and I will tell you, it is we're close to the water too, so I understand that part. I really do, and I love the beach there. A lot of people say, "Well, Cam, it's not the clear water." I love to hear the waves, and that's just me. I just love to hear the waves. If you're on here, comment, say, "Hey, I'm here," so I can shout you out. Also, if you have some comments or notations, today the topic is what is happening in America today. So I'm telling you, it's a lot happening in America today. It's a lot going on. We have a lot of runoffs. Make sure you vote. If there are some runoffs that you are looking at or you want explanations on, if you want people to come on, please ask them to come on. Ask them to get in touch with me. DM me. Give me some information about what their platform is, because we want to hear everyone. We want to talk to each and every one of them to talk about what their platform is and see what's going on. We really need that. We want to hear exactly what is happening. I've got some comments. Let's see what we got going on. Who we got? Oh, Ray Williams. Hey, buddy, what's going on, man? How you doing? You got to bring some music on here. I love to hear you. And the First Lady, Dr. LaShonda Johnson. Hey, honey, how you doing? Good afternoon, beautiful. I tell you, thank you all for tuning in. Again, today we're going to shout out Billy D. Washington. Again, he was coming on, but TSA prevented him from doing that. He is world renowned on Carnival Cruise as one of the great comedians. A friend of mine was telling me about him too. And he's been on the show twice before, but he had some things. We were again going to talk about what's happening in America today. Let's just think about that. What is really happening to America, today? It seems like, for me, I don't know if it's that we're going backward, that we're going forward, or what we're doing. Put some notes in here. How are you feeling? What do you think that's happening to America today? And what can be changed that is also happening? Again, I just announced about Cuba. 11 million people are without electricity. Just think about that. So that means that the water pumps that they have there in the in Cuba cannot work because you need that electricity to pump the water out. That's one main thing. So let me just say that to each and every one of you, just the concept of just the thought process of that. So that was meaning that water pumps were shut down. So sewage is overflowing in the streets. The food is rotting because there's no electricity. You don't have refrigeration. You don't have anything how to preserve it. You can't cook unless you have the gas stoves. And said they were limited on the gas. So that was another thing. And I hate that for that country. Also, like I was saying, as far as voting, we've got to vote. If we don't do anything here, we need to vote. And just know that for African American people, that is not a law to vote. It's an act. Okay. I don't know if many people understand what that means. So that means that whoever the sitting president is, I think it's every 10 years or so. And with our new president, it could be today. With him sitting there, he can make a notation, or he can decide we no longer are able to vote, African Americans. And I'm talking about our race because I know about this. Okay. That it's an act and not a law. The John Lewis law is sitting there. It is a bill for voting, and that will give you the right to vote. That will be the law. So just wanted to talk to you and put that on your mind, that the more we vote and the more people see us vote, that's what's going to make the changes. Okay. That's going to be the change in what we do. As far as Iran and the war right now, there is no notation. Hey, Miss Shirley, how you doing? Miss Lewis, I see you. Good afternoon to you. That right now, as far as the war is concerned with the Iran war, let's talk about that. Put some notes in there. Let me know what you feel about that, about the war. That was not it. The Congress did not grant it. I read more and more. They said, "Hey, we didn't know about it. We weren't aware that it was going on, but it is happening, and it's still happening right this moment." Okay, so that is mainly why, with the war going on and the shutdown, we have a government shutdown. They call it a partial shutdown, but it is affecting the airports. If you see that the airports are being shut down. I mean, the airports are thinking about shutting down because there's so many people. And when you have a lot of people, there's security involved. You need that help. And in talking to one of the officers as I was driving over here, he was stating, Cam, the problem is that we have so many people that we just don't have the volume of help that's needed. And that may be when we do the shutdown. And the shutdown may be smaller airports and maybe some of the larger airports. But I do know people are having a hard time getting through. They're missing flights because they can't get through security part. And then they have to wait to try to be placed on either another flight or another carrier. And sometimes being placed on another carrier, sometimes that includes a payment, a different type of payment. So we want to keep those people in mind, and we hope that they're able to get through, because spring break is huge for them, because spring break is involved the whole week for young people. So we know that they're trying to travel and go where they're trying to go. So we're going to keep thoughts on that. If you have any questions or want to do some shout outs, concerns or something, put them in the chat. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what you think about what's happening. And again, the topic is what is happening in America today. So I put some notes down, and I've been thinking about what's happening in America today and the thought process. There's also, again, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. I've had some people talk to me about Miss Tina's gumbo, and I understand that gumbo is pretty good for the South. We're here in Houston. So some people in Louisiana said they would have added some things, they would have increased some things or something like that. And like I said, I hadn't gotten out there, but it looked delicious. It really did. Shout out to Miss Tina and her gumbo. I'm so glad she even brought it here, or even thought about us just to bring it here. I also read that Beyonce and Kelly Rowland, they are putting a homeless initiative together. They're building an additional building, because Beyonce's already done one here, and maybe two, right off the freeway. I've seen them for homeless, but they're doing another building. They're working on another one right now, and it's a project that they're working on for the homeless. And I'm so glad that they're even thinking about doing some things here in their hometown, which is Houston. And I thank them for that. Uh, there's another big race that is out there right now, and it's for Texas again. Uh, Texas has been just a red state. I'll tell people that, and I know it's being trying to be flipped to blue, but there was a difference. Again, we just talked about Texas governor's race, which is Greg Abbott and Gina Hinosa. Gina Hinosa is the one who is running Democrat. Greg Abbott, he is already our governor, and he is a Republican. So that's going to be in November. But there's another race, Ken Paxton, and this race is for the Senate seat. This is the one where Jasmine Crockett was in, and it was won by Tallarico. And Tallarico is the Democratic nominee that's going to go up against either John Cornyn or Ken Paxton. And in doing so, they have a runoff race, and that will be in May, which is Ken Paxton and John Cornyn. Tallarico has already won the Democratic part. Which one do you think? Put it in the notes. Which one do you think, Ken Paxton or John Cornyn, will win that part on the Republican side? And then President Trump said he was going to endorse one of them and has not. And I understand as of, I think it was yesterday, 5:00, he had to already make the decision for one of them to step down, but he had not made his decision as of yet. And that's for Texas governor. That race is really contentious. It is for a long time, it's been a Republican, which is John Cornyn, has been seated in that position for a long time. There was another race that just happened in Illinois, and that was Donna Miller as well as Jesse Jackson Jr. And it was two others, but these are the two that were with the most votes, and Donna Miller won. And that's in Illinois. So congratulations to her. And Jesse Jackson Jr. was running in that race also, but she did win. And we want to tell her congratulations on that. And she is she's a Democrat. So she won that race at that time. I'm looking in my comments. Put something there if you want to talk about some things. Let's talk about it. Let's look at some things. I just had a notation somebody put in just text me about the rapper Mystikal. Mystikal pled guilty to a rape charge, and they're now getting, I think in June will be his sentencing. They haven't decided that yet. Okay, Mr. Ray, he just put in something. He says, and you can read the notes too. He says, I know we're on another topic, but I'd like to talk about our adolescence. We're losing that battle. What can we do? Yes, Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray is a musical genius. His voice is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for stating that. We are losing our adolescence. I put in the chat on my page a while back, and people, I think I messed it up with one where the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and I'm going back to that because again we're here in Houston, and we were talking about fighting and things like that. I had placed in there to have a parent accompany you there. I think the age was what the problem was, maybe 18 and under. I put 20. I'll try to get everybody out there, right? But they're right, 18. Anyone 18 and under, I think, and I agree with that, they should have a parent with them. And now this is what I talked to one of the police officers about. He said, and his thing would be, if the parent is accompanying you and you still end up fighting, that they will take both the parent and the child to jail. Now, that wasn't my thought. That wasn't what I was thinking, but He said it has to be something where we stop these young people from fighting, because people don't realize fighting could lead to death. I was just reading about a young lady out of Atlanta, Georgia. She was coming off the bus, and she's 12 years old, a 12-year-old lady, young lady, and these other girls got off the bus. Now just think about this. The bus driver is dropping one young lady off. These other young children this is not their bus stop. This is not their route, but they still get off to fight this young girl. She ends up falling back, hitting her head. After she hits her head, she has a brain aneurysm. She ends up dying. Okay. The reason I know this, Shaquille O'Neal, shout out to him. He's going to pay for the funeral of this young woman, a young lady, and her family, because they were doing a GoFundMe at the time. But her mother, and I heard her wailing. And if I tell you, it touched my heart so, just the cries. And like she said, my daughter will never grow older than 12. In my heart, in my mind, and if I see her, I'll never be able to see her first child. I'll never be able to see her weddings. I will never be able to see anything. But I saw my child pass away, and now I am burying my child that I had. My God, Ray, you're right. We are losing that battle. And tell us, what can we do? Miss Shirley, what can we do? What can we do? There's got to be something where we put our heads together. I was saying discipline in the schools, and I had a lot of backlash on that because of the fact that now discipline in the schools with the people that we have in charge may not be right. I agree. I agree with that, because the people that we have in charge are not like the people that was in charge of us. We had paddles, they had belts. It didn't kill us, but the person in charge only was trying to discipline us and not harm us. That was the difference. So I agree with that. I really do. So if you have some suggestions, let me know. If you have some thought processes, let me know on that, because that would be good. That's a good thing. Yeah, let us know about that, because we are losing our adolescence. And guess what? That adolescence is the one going to be our future. And I so agree. Miss Shirley said it needs to start at home. True. It has to start at home. But what I found out, Miss Shirley, is this, and I didn't realize this after talking to some people. It definitely has to start at home. I found out grandparents are no longer grandparents like we had grandparents. Parents aren't no longer the parents that we have. A lot of them are, but a lot of them are younger. They're grandparents that are 35. Their grandparents, there was a young lady, she said she was a grandparent, she was 32. And I said, my God. She said, and I have 4 grandchildren already. So just think of the age she had to be for her to have her own child, you know? And she just told me, she said, I was 15 years old. I had my first child. I was 16 years old, and I had my second child. And so she said, and I'm 32 with 4 grandchildren. She said, Cam, she said, I'm even thinking about having another child now. And she had just recently got married. She's 32 years old. She's still young enough to have children. Okay? And I remember that being said, because I remember Janet Jackson being older and Halle Berry being older when they had their children. So she has plenty of time to have additional children. But when you think about that, being a grandparent at 32, wow. And her mother being the great grandparent. And I talked to her mother, and she said the same thing. She says, I can't imagine this. But if you have any questions, place those in. I so agree on that. Ray, I'm going to put a topic together. We're going to have some experts as well as yourself if you want to chime in and be on that panel. Let's put it together. Let's try to come up with something that we can do, because these young people are our future. They're our future. They're going to be the ones that are in Congress. They're going to be the ones that are the doctors. They're going to be the ones that are the attorneys. They're going to be the ones that own places. And we will be the ones that are older, entering nursing homes, having to be taken care of. We're going to be the ones. And also, Mr. Oliver Stevenson, thank you, buddy, for jumping in, talking about the conspiracy to get our county judge to Resign. Yes. Yes, I placed that on my page, that someone had asked me or told me that they're trying to get County Judge Lena Hidalgo. They want her to resign. I appreciate that, Mr. Oliver, for bringing that up. Yes, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, this is from what I understood it to be, is that she went to one of the shows. I don't know which show it was. I can't remember if it was Creed or which one it was. There was a show that she went to, and she was escorted out of there because they said that she had already used all the tickets that she had, and these particular tickets were $450. These were on at the lower level, and they were some of the most expensive tickets. But they escorted her out of there and told her that she was not able to be a part of it, including her guest. I understand she had some guests with her, but she was the main one taken out of there. She went back. She saw the footage, and she said that they were very aggressive with her. They grabbed her instead of just escorting her and talking to her about it. And she also stated it was more of an embarrassment than anything. And she is the sitting Harris County judge, not Houston. She's Harris County, and that's a large area here in Houston, Harris County. It takes over Katy. It takes over part of Spring. It takes Cypress. I mean, she has a huge county, and they are asking her or requesting some of the commissioners are requesting her to resign, and I do think that's a shame. I don't know as far, and I hate that she's not running again. There is there's two people running in that position I do know of, Anise Parker and Dr. Letitia Plummer, running in that position. So Judge Lena Hidalgo is not running for another term. This is her end. This is the close of her. And it will be either Anise Parker or Dr. Letitia Plummer is running in that position. And they have a runoff. And then as far as on another side, man, I hate that for her because she has done a lot. She really has. And hey, Mr. Stevenson put in there, that's true. Harris County owns the venue. That's true. Harris County does. Harris County owns that venue. It really, really does. They really, really do. And she is the judge over that. Okay. If you have any more questions or so, they're clicking me out and they're saying, hey, Cam, it's time to go. So I want to thank each one of you for chiming in. I appreciate each one of you for just talking to me, coming in on this show. I do it on Wednesdays, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Program.